good morning and welcome to yet another vlog. Check these colors out behind me, they're already saying it all. So do I need to say more? Yes, I'm shooting a sunrise, and yes, I'm in an awesome location, and that's right here on London Bridge. That's London Bridge right here, shot in the background. And the main attraction for today is Tower Bridge, all the way back here, just being blown out by the beautiful sunlight coming through. And first photo I wanted to take, actually I've seen many times on Instagram before, so I can't take credit for this being an original idea, but that's this right here. The staircase going down as the foreground element with the shard in the background, and no better way to do that than to throw on the wide angle lens on your camera. Use a tripod early in the mornings because I'm looking at shutter speeds of 5 seconds, and you just need that tripod just to make that shutter speed work for you. Keep the ISO nice and low, keep the quality nice and high, and with that 5-second shutter speed, you just need a tripod to keep your camera stable. So that's why there's a tripod. And yeah, a little bit more about the composition. The staircase is just really beautiful, and I caught it just in the nick of time when the lanterns were all still on the bridge. So a little bit of extra light coming off the city makes for the shot to make it look a little bit even more magical. And before I keep hyping it too much, let's go take a look at this photo. I thought I'd try something different for a change, because I photographed Tower Bridge from London Bridge at sunrise so many times, and I actually had for once, ingenious spark, or try something creative, something I've never tried before. That's to stand on London Bridge itself, focus on the shard here in the background, and try to make the most of the road as leading lines with the shard as the background. And if you wait just long enough, a bus will come by and you can use the bus as your foreground. And also, every time you're in London at a main busy road, always wait for a bus. Wait 2-3 minutes longer and there'll definitely be a bus that you can get and incorporate in your shots. Not only does that make for a beautiful foreground element, the London buses themselves are just iconic masterpieces that just give your photos that extra London touch. Check this out. Do you see what I mean? You don't get more London than that, and that's just a beautiful scene, and it's just at the perfect time right now. Check this out. Beautiful sunrise tones, pink coming through in the sky, just bouncing off the clouds. Buses in the foreground, another modern icon of a shard in the background. You can't really go wrong. And the lens I'm using right now is the 35mm lens, which is a beautiful prime lens just for a lot of documentary photography, cityscape photography, because it's wide but kind of tight at the same time. Just gives your photos a beautiful feel and touch. And check it out what I can create with this camera, this lens. Here's the final result. Now of course, since I came all this way, I thought I cannot leave here without taking the shot at least once. I take it every single time I come here and never regret doing that as well. Check this out, we're in the middle of a sunrise right now. Got the yellow tones just lighting up the horizon so beautifully. But unfortunately also there's a thick layer of cloud just above it. So that's drowning out a lot of the color and a lot of the mood and a lot of that strong light coming through and illuminating the whole city. But that's still fine. You take what you get and you just make the most of it. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Using the 85mm lens, which is in the telephoto range, which means it's pretty zoomed in. It's usually a portrait lens, but if you come to Tower Bridge, London Bridge rather, to take photos of Tower Bridge, this is just the perfect focal length, as coincidentally. And what you manage to do with this 85mm focal length is you manage to isolate these ships right here. Usually it's just one, the HMS Belfast, but today there's a second warship docked just on the side of it. And I've used these two ships to frame Tower Bridge actually. Right in the middle between the two ships I've got the tower of Tower Bridge sticking out, and that's kind of my composition. Unfortunately it's difficult to get a strong foreground element here because it's all just water, but yeah, that's why I prefer to go just a little bit tighter anyway and use the telephoto range, because the more telephoto you go, the less important the foreground elements become. So Isco actually had the same idea. Check this out. He's on the 70 to 200mm lens, which is also a telephoto lens, and he's probably got a similar idea to me. Isolate some subjects, bring them really close to you, and you can walk away with some amazing photos. Let me show you what they look like. Here you go. morning light's still really beautiful, as well as it's still very early and the restaurant that we want to go have breakfast at hasn't opened yet either, so we're kind of killing time / enjoying the beautiful morning light that there still is. We thought we'd just take a nice stroll along the river since the weather's beautiful as well, and we stumbled across Tower Bridge, of course. Well, stumbled across is a bit of a overstatement, but here we are anyway. And if you just go past Tower Bridge, get really tight to Tower Bridge and use a wide angle lens, you can get some really dramatic angles, and that's exactly what we've gone for. Tower Bridge here in the background, just looking beautiful. And then if you use the leading lines of the bridge, leading up to the actual tower behind it, you can walk away from an amazing photo. And then in order to just bring out the blue in the sky a little bit stronger, I opted to use a polarizing filter, and that's this one right here. The beauty of a polarizing filter is that it can saturate the colors even stronger in the sky, especially. You can make that blue really dark and really stand out, as well as it also helps you to take the glare off the water, because when you're photographing bridges, it's always a good idea to incorporate a bit of water, of course, just to give the scene a lot more context. So with that being said, check out the photo. We're now looking at some pretty harsh daylight, and the photography conditions really aren't any good anymore. The best times to photograph is always around sunrise and around sunset. And with that being said, I think it's time to end this vlog. So I appreciate your support and thank you for watching all the way to the end. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in a future episode. Bye for now.